What's going on YouTube? LongLocks82 back in with another video. I realized that we don't teach our children as a collective, and that's the value of money. Oh, we teach them what money can do for them, but what we don't teach them is, the more important shit like saving, checks and balances. What is a bank account? What are CDs? What are IRAs? What is long-term investing? We don't teach our children about that because a lot of us as black people, we don't know about that. Uh, I wanted to bring up in this video, I wanted to create a discussion topic for what are some things that we as black men, actually we as men period, especially black men, how we can teach our sons to save money, to value a paycheck, to value anything that is bought with money that they didn't earn, and more importantly, the value of getting out there and earning legally, earning a paycheck. And what goes along with that, we don't teach our children, the value of hard work. So a lot of children really don't get any satisfaction from working their asses off to receive a paycheck. They want like they don't have any intrinsic value as far as like the feeling of accomplishment when they they've saved money up for something that they've wanted. Now I've been trying to incorporate that. Like, it's been a little bit of discussion of what age is appropriate for teaching children. I was talking to one of my classmates yesterday, as a matter of fact, right before the final exam, and between study time, we were outside taking a break, and we were talking about money, of course, and children and money, and he was telling me, that his child is 3 years old. 3 years old. He opened up a bank account in his name. Now, I'm thinking that's a good idea, but it's almost unheard of, at least in the black community. I didn't say this out loud, but, I just basically gave him a thumbs up, like, yo, that's a good idea. Teach him early what a bank account is. Teach him that money just don't grow on trees. It just doesn't magically appear in a bank account. You have to actually put money in it, and the money that you put in it, you have to work to earn. So, let's say if his child received an allowance. Like, for instance, children as young as 4 and 5, they have chores like clean your room. And when you clean your room every day, and you do it, actually, maybe not every day. You clean your room as needed, if it's needed every day. But you clean your room as needed. You pick up all your toys. Things like you finish your dinner. You act good in school. You follow directions and listen without being told more than twice. Because I understand they are children. And, sometimes kids don't do everything the first time. You got to kind of get on them about it. But teaching them things that can help them later on in life. Or even just in the next few years when they have to go to grammar school. Or at the elementary, grade school, whatever y'all call it. When they have to go to school, it's a few things you need to know. Like, basically, one thing, how to sit down and be quiet, for 1. 2, how to pay attention to what the teacher's doing. And 3, how to take what she's teaching you and apply it, to your situation. Like, for instance, if she's teaching you how to color, then when she teaches you to color within the lines, then you take what she showed you and you apply it to what you're trying to do. So, that can go as far as math and learning how to read, learning how to write letters, learning even how to count numbers and ABCs, all that shit. All that stuff are things that a child can be rewarded for. And if you do it and if you reward the child with money, then you get them a little piggy bank or a bank account. In this case, a bank account. And he would take, I was talking to this guy, and he would take his, well, what did I say, 3-year-old? Yeah, 3-year-old son, 4-year-old. I think he's 3. He might have just turned 4. He's taking his child to the bank with him when he deposit money. And, he showed him, this is what you do when you get money. This is how you save your money. And an experiment he ran was he gave his son a quarter every week. And he basically didn't tell the kid what to do with it. He just bought him a little piggy bank and started giving a quarter every week. And he was keeping track of how much money he was giving him. And he would expect, maybe the child to keep about $5 in there, because he was giving him about a quarter here, a dollar there. I think he gave him about between $5 and $6 or whatever. And the child, one day, like, he was like, yeah, I was rolling past McDonald's, and the kid was like, Daddy, I want some McDonald's. And he was like, he asked him, do you have McDonald's money? And he was like, I do in my piggy bank. He was like, how much you got? And he was like, I don't know. So this is actually funny, because the child doesn't know how to count money, like quarters, dollars, but he knows that he has a lot in there. So I take it that every time that his dad gave him money, he stuck it in the piggy bank. So then his dad was like, I mean, do you want McDonald's right now, or you can wait like an extra week or two and save up some more money and get that Spider-Man action figure that you wanted, that you've been wanting so bad. And the kid, 3 years old, mind you, he sat there and he thought about it. And he was like, no, I want the Spider-Man. I don't want McDonald's. I'm like, wow. So at an early age, you basically taught this kid that if you really want to get what you really want, you have to learn how to save your money up. This is at 3 years old. The kid grasped the concept of, Daddy's just not going to buy me something. I have to take the money that he gives me and learn how to put it up and save it for when I want something important. Now imagine this kid is 14, 15 years old. He's taught this lesson at 3. While other 14, 15-year-olds are aspiring to get like bullshit like clothes and shoes, jewelry, this 15, 16-year-old going to be saving up for his car. You see what I'm saying? When he gets 14, 15, and he knows that car costs about, like for a first car, $2,000, depending on where you're from, $2-3 for a decent running car that don't have a lot of problems. This 15, 16-year-old kid, by the time he's maybe 16 or 17, he'll probably have his car. And that's if he hasn't been saving ever since he was maybe 12 or 13 when he realized he won a car. Or maybe he realized that, hey, I can be driving young. I just got to save the money. He probably talked to his dad about it, like, Dad, I want to get a car. His dad was like, okay, well, if you want a car, like, if you save up some money, then I will match whatever you save up, and I'll give it to you. Doesn't that sound familiar? Sounds kind of like a 401k. He's teaching his child, or he's teaching his son, the value of money at an early age. You see, so when a kid gets about 15, 16, he knows that he can save up for a car, and whatever he saves up, his dad will give him. So then when he gets to the age where he can get a 401k, then he'll know the value of a 401k. Or if you go into the military, a Montgomery GI Bill, because pretty sure it worked. Well, I'm sure it works the same way. At least it did. They might have changed some of the guidelines, but it works the same way. Whatever you pay into it, they will match you, and that'll go towards your college. Now that, you see what I'm saying? Like that right there, he's teaching this child the value of money. We don't teach our kids the value of money because, this dude, he wasn't a black dude. And I'm not saying black dudes can't do it, but I'm saying that when it comes down to teaching children how to save and bank accounts and how to balance a checkbook. Some children or some adolescents, 17, 18, almost grown as hell. I mean, like, when I say grown, I mean 21, So, kids in their late teens, they start to understand how to balance a checkbook. They understand that, okay, like, for instance, when I was younger and I had a job, like 16 I'm talking about, my grandmother used to like, however much I make, she'd take like a percentage of it and she'll make me give it to her. And she will call that, paying rent. And a lot of people will think, well, your grandmother was wrong for making you pay rent. No, she made me understand at a young age that when you get older and you're making money, you're going to have to start paying bills. You see what I'm saying? When I was 16, I had a cell phone bill. I had a pager bill. Damn. That just reminded me how, But when I was 16, I had a pager bill, I had a cell phone bill, and I was paying toward the rent and I was helping toward groceries. So at a young age, I learned what it meant, to pay bills. But to be honest, I didn't know a lot about checks and balances. Like I didn't learn how to balance a checkbook until I got into the military, and they teach you. And that's another thing. Why should the government have to teach me how to balance a checkbook? I had parents. You see what I'm saying? Why did the government have to teach me about things like financial aid for college, student loans? I had parents. I don't know if it's a generational curse, like all throughout the black community, and well, throughout most of the black community, but we need to start teaching our children the value of money, or they will squander away, the smallest or the biggest amount of money you give to them. If they don't know the value of money, or how to save, or checks and balances, or even how to balance a checkbook, how to properly write a check, even though they're becoming somewhat obsolete just because we're in the digital and technological age, but how to write a check is something very basic that they teach you in high school. Now, why is it that kids don't learn until they get to high school how to write a check? Even if they're not going to buy anything or whatever, parents should be teaching their kids how to properly write a check. There's a lot of shit we should be teaching our kids. Why have to learn about IRAs after I got into the military? Bottom line, y'all, we need to be more knowledgeable about money. We need to know more about our finances. We need to teach our children about how to balance a checkbook, etc., etc. I want to hear if there's any, any men that are actually doing this. I want to hear some of the things that you use to teach your sons, and women too. Some of the things you use to teach your daughters how to balance a checkbook. I mean, I know there's some women out there, whenever they go grocery shopping, they take their daughter with them so they can teach them how to budget. How to budget is another one. That's a big one, as a matter of fact. How to budget. Like I was saying, a lot of women, they take their daughters to the grocery store and they teach them. They get them like $100, and they say the goal is to try to come within a $5 of spending all of that 100 and get as many groceries as possible. They teach them how to look for the better buy. I mean, that's math all over again. It's basically math and percentages. Like, how much are you going to get per ounce, and how much more are you going to pay? Is it worth it? Which one's a better buy? That is what? Middle school? That's what? Middle school math? It'll pretty soon be elementary school math at the rate that these schools are going, but, it's simple shit that we should be teaching our kids. We shouldn't leave it up to the schools. But anyway, like I was saying, like if it's any guy, any males or, men or women that are doing this with their kids, I want to know, what are some of the things that y'all do to teach your children about money in general? Some of the things I mentioned, if you've done that, what are some of the things, how are some of the ways if you're teaching your kids about managing money and handling finances? Anyway, that's it for this video, Lone Locks 82. Y'all be easy.